FormaHoof is a flexible, protective, reusable mold that fits perfectly onto the existing hoof capsule, offering durable support that mimics the natural function of the hoof. Using the latest 3D scanning technology, we captured the perfect geometry of a healthy hoof and replicated that into the mold, allowing each application to automatically align with the correct angle for a perfect fit every time. The FormaHoof mold is created using a fast-curing and wear-resistant AP resin. Unlike other similar products, it doesn't adhere to the hoof capsule, avoiding injury and damaging the molds in application. Our AP resin expands and contracts as a healthy hoof would, increasing comfort and performance. And when tested in a variety of terrains and weather, from the deserts of the Middle East to the snowy mountains of Austria, it surpassed customer expectations. For the best application, the right tools and preparation is key. Start with a thorough hoof evaluation. If possible, take X-rays. Alternatively, take photos of the sole, lateral, side, front, and hung views, and measure these angles. Next, prepare the hoof. First, use a wire brush to trim the sole without removing too much callus, but removing any dirt and loose hoof and frog. Use a vet serger knife to clean and trim down each side of the frog, and a rechargeable finger belt sander to trim the sole frog and heel bulbs. To trim the hoof to the desired length and create a Velcro-like surface for FormaHoof to stick to, use a Cody James rasp. The surface needs to be clean and rough, so prepare the hoof wall from heel to heel with overlapping strokes around the hoof. To prevent any bacteria growing under your mold, apply FormaHoof antibacterial. Simply hold the foot up until it soaks in. Drug and chemical free, the organic cleaner activates any time it's in damp, humid conditions. To select the right mold size, measure across the hoof and refer to the FormaHoof sizing chart. And if you want to customize your mold, simply drill out extra injection points. For added structural and dynamic support, mesh is folded and trimmed to fit your application. Unroll the mesh on a flat area and place the mold on top to work out the width. Cutting the full length and 4 layers of mesh gives you enough for 2 feet. The more times you fold the mesh, the stronger it gets. Folding the mesh at the front holds it in place. Once you've set the height of the front, fold like a paper aeroplane to make a neat, strong toe section. Fold it back on itself where needed to create multiple layers for strength, then trim to fit. To apply FormaHoof, you'll need tubes of the AP resin and an injecting gun. The tubes are sealed with a reusable plastic insert and a nut. The mixing tips make sure the 2 parts are mixed the correct amount of times. And the gun ensures the product is mixed and dispensed at the correct rate. Place the mesh on the foot first. Let the horse stand down into the mold so you can check for size and make sure the hoof is in all the way. Check the mold is straight at the back of the foot, lining up the heel bulbs with the hairline. Now lift the foot up from the back of the mold, ensuring it stays in place. Check the back of the mold is aligned to the hairline of the bulbs to ensure you have the same angles on both feet. With the heels in place, set the toe of the mold by pressing your fingers into the base of the mold at the tip of the frog to create a gap for the FormaHoof AP to flow through. Begin to pump the pre-mixed product onto the mold at the bottom side. Then start the injection process at the dorsal hoof wall to ensure the application will hook over the front. Make sure the front of the mold is flat and tight with the front of the hoof. The material should be visible as it flows over the sole plane of the hoof. Once the resin has flowed over the base and past each hole, move to the injection point to push the AP forward. Continue to fill each injection area, pushing all the air out of the mold towards the heel. Once you've filled the base of the mold, inject the heel bulb area. When the last sole injection point is touched dry, place the hoof on the ground, allowing it to settle into the application before it's too firm. Starting from the lateral quarter hole, slowly inject the AP into the sides. Then proceed to the heel hole and any custom holes you've added to the mold. It can take between 5 and 10 minutes for the application to set. If the application is set and ready for the demolding process, the injection points will snap off with a loud cracking noise. Make sure all the injection points are removed, then slowly work the mold loose from the FormaHoof, taking care not to tear the silicone. Once loose, slowly twist to remove. Now you can customize the FormaHoof to each hoof by simply trimming the application with your rasp. Finally, clean the mold using WD-40 silicone spray, ready for the next application. So, now you have a custom-fitted, flexible, reusable mold, safer to apply than metal shoes, and with none of the risks of nail damage. FormaHoof is the future of hoof care.